turns out, simply do not belong in this world. They belong in mine.
The ending of Stranger Things Season 5, Episode 4, changes everything. Will goes from the kid who always needed saving to the one person who might actually beat Vecna at his own game. Demogorgons close in, time seems to freeze, and suddenly, Will taps into a power we have only ever seen from Eleven and Vecna.
I was looking for the answers in somebody else, but I had all the answers.
In this video, we are breaking down that ending, explaining what it really means and the key details you might have missed. Quick recap. Will, Mike, Lucas, Robin, and Joyce are trying to free a group of psychic kids from Dr. K's facility when Vecna sends Demogorgons storming in. Out in the Upside Down, Steve, Dustin, Nancy, and Jonathan discover a huge fleshy wall that forms a ring around Hawkins Lab. Max and Holly are trapped inside Vecna's mind, lured there by a friendly figure called Mr. Whatsit, who is really Vecna in disguise. Dr. K has also been holding Callie and other psychic kids in secret for the government.
I've been looking for you for a very long time. My name is
Dr. K. Know who you've taken. That you and your men are going to die.
Now we reach the ending. The final sequence takes place inside Dr. K's facility as everything collapses. Demogorgons pour in from the Upside Down, sirens are blaring, soldiers are dying, and our main group is backed into a corner with no escape. The camera locks on Will. You see panic, but also something else building behind his eyes. He clutches his head, hears the buzzing of the Upside Down hive mind, and suddenly everything goes quiet. The Demogorgons freeze mid-attack like puppets with cut strings. Instead, we realize Will has reached into the same psychic network that connects Vecna, the Demogorgons, and the Upside Down itself. There is a surge of energy, and the creatures stop as we cut to black. So what does this mean for Will? From Season 1, we knew he could feel the presence of the Mind Flayer, and in later seasons, he sensed Vecna before anyone else.
I'm just saying that, you're like a wizard, like him. D&D, Mike, not real life.
Episode 4 finally shows that his connection is not just trauma or leftover infection. It is a two-way street. Will can feel the hive mind, but now he can also push back into it. His power works differently from everyone else. 11 throws objects, opens gates, and uses raw force. Vecna invades minds and twists reality. Will reaches into the network itself and disrupts control. Think of him as a hacker instead of a battering ram. He does not need to kill every monster. He just has to cut the signal that tells them what to do. Earlier in the season, Will talks about feeling different and finally being honest with himself. Episode 4 links that acceptance to this moment of power. The show is saying that Will becomes dangerous to Vecna, not in spite of his so-called weakness, but because he has learned to own it. Now let us talk about Vecna's plan. Through Dr. K, the government has been gathering psychic kids in one place, thinking they are building a secret army. They have cells, monitoring tech, and Callie locked up with others. Vecna has been playing a longer game. By attacking the facility when the kids are most concentrated there, he turns Dr. K's base into a delivery system and simply claims them. Vecna is obsessed with damaged people. He uses Mr. Whatsit to lure frightened children by promising to protect them from the chaos outside. His goal is not just to kill them. He wants to recruit them, mold them, and plug them into the hive mind. The twist is that his own plan also creates the one thing he never wanted. It puts Will, Eleven, and Callie on the same side, with the same reason to bring him down. Meanwhile, Max and Holly are stuck inside a mental landscape that Vecna controls. At first, it feels safe, with Mr. Watson acting like a kind guardian. Slowly, the mask drops. The environment shifts, memories twist, and doors vanish as Vecna tests how far he can push before they break. That lets him attack the group from within, but it also turns Max and Holly into potential spies who can spot cracks in his world. Back in the Upside Down, Steve, Dustin, Nancy, and Jonathan reach that horrific fleshy wall wrapped around the Hawkins Lab zone. It looks like a ring of muscle and nerve tied directly into the hive mind. If that structure is a kind of heart or brain, destroying it could disrupt Vecna's control over everything in the area. So why does this ending matter? First, Will is no longer just the kid everyone has to save. He is a fully powered psychic who can reach into the hive mind itself. Second, Vecna thinks he has turned the government's weapon program into his personal recruitment center, but in reality, it has forced his biggest threats into the same war. 11. Will, Callie, Max, and Holly all have personal reasons to stop him. Third, the fleshy ring around Hawkins Lab proves there is a physical weak point in the Upside Down, not just a mental one. Here is my rough prediction for Volume 2. One group goes into the Upside Down to destroy that ring around the lab, while another group, led by 11, Will, and Callie, fights Vecna in the psychic realm. Vecna believes the world is broken and that he is the only one strong enough to fix it. Stranger Things has always argued the opposite, that what makes people powerful is not perfection, but connection. So that is the ending of Stranger Things Season 5, Episode 4 explained, and why that final scene with Will changes everything. Do you think Will has always had these powers, or did the Upside Down change him? And what do you think Vecna really wants to do with the kids he has taken? Let me know your theories in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, remember to like the video and subscribe so you do not miss the next deep dive.
Stranger Things fans, the new Stranger Things. Season 5 trailer is packed with hidden clues that almost everyone missed. In this video, 10 things you missed in the Stranger Things Season 5 trailer, I am breaking down the biggest secret details that reveal what happens in Stranger Things 5, from Vecna and the Mind Flayer to Will Byers, 11, and the final season ending. If you love Stranger Things theories and Stranger Things Season 5 breakdowns, watch all the way through and count how many of these you actually spotted. On this channel, I cover Stranger Things trailer breakdowns, Stranger Things Season 5 theories, Upside Down lore, and all the wild clues Netflix hides in every frame. So if that is your thing, you are absolutely in the right place. Alright, let's get into the 10 things you missed in the Stranger Things Season 5 trailer. Number 1, 11's new power level. We all saw 11 blast herself over that fence, but most people treated it like a random superhero moment. Back in Stranger Things Season 4, Dr. Brenner told Elle that if she faced Henry in her current state, she would lose, and that one day she might even be strong enough to fly. That line felt symbolic, but the Stranger Things 5 trailer shows it literally. 11 is not just throwing objects anymore, she is launching herself like a missile. This is our first big hint that Stranger Things Season 5 is the full power version of 11, and that the final Vecna vs. 11 fight is going to look completely different. Number 2, Mike's conspiracy board. Everyone noticed the messy board of newspaper clippings, but the headlines are doing a lot of storytelling. One headline reads, "Day of Disaster," clearly referring to the giant cracks and gates that split Hawkins at the end of Season 4. Another says, "State declares Hawkins a disaster zone." That tells us that officially the government has turned Hawkins into a quarantine dead town. To the rest of America, it is just another tragedy, not a gateway to hell. The Stranger Things Season 5 trailer quietly shows how the world moved on, while the characters are still trapped in the fallout. Number 3, the 2 D&D figures. In that same sequence, we see Mike placing 2 Dungeons & Dragons miniatures on what looks like a church drawing. Those are not random. The one with the shield, standing protectively, clearly represents Mike Wheeler. The robed sorcerer next to him lines up with Will Byers and the Season 5 episode title, The Sorcerer. The trailer is hinting that Will is about to move from helpless victim to magical player in the story. This supports a huge Stranger Things Will Byers theory that Season 5 will finally reveal his own powers. Number 4, the fireball payoff. Go all the way back to Stranger Things Season 1. In the opening D&D game, Will has a choice: cast a protection spell or use a fireball on the Demogorgon. He chooses the fireball, rolls a 7, and fails. That tiny moment has always mirrored his failure to escape the Demogorgon later. Now, in the Stranger Things 5 trailer, we see Vecna blocking a massive ball of fire in midair. Everyone assumes it belongs to 11, but it could just as easily be Will finally casting the fireball for real. The story would come full circle. The failed spell in Season 1 becomes the winning move in Season 5. Number 5, Joyce reliving her worst nightmare. There is a blink and you miss it shot where Joyce is kneeling and praying, with Mike in the background and someone lying on the couch. Pause it and you can see the outline. That person is almost certainly Will Byers. This mirrors Stranger Things Season 2, when Joyce and Mike sat by Will's hospital bed while the Mind Flayer used him as a spy. The Season 5 trailer is telling us that once again, Will may be unconscious in the real world, but trapped inside the Upside Down or Dimension X, and Joyce is back in that same helpless, terrified position. Number 6, Mike's scar reveals the timeline. In some scenes, especially in the library fight, Mike's face is clean. In others, later in the trailer, he has a visible scar on his right cheek. This is YouTube algorithm-style storytelling. The editors are scrambling the order of events to hide when things happen. The library battle, which looks like a big mid-season climax, might actually take place earlier in Stranger Things Season 5. The scar tells us that some of the quieter scenes where Mike and 11 are together actually occur after that huge fight, even though the trailer puts them first. Number 7, the axe fake-out. There is a shot where Dustin, Nancy, Jonathan, and another figure are walking with an axe. Most people instantly assumed the axe belonged to Steve Harrington because Steve plus axe is practically a meme at this point. But when you compare the height and build, it lines up much more with Joyce than Steve. Another teaser shows Joyce swinging an axe at a Demogorgon in the barn. So in Stranger Things Season 5, it looks like the axe has been passed from Steve to Joyce. She is no longer just the panicked mum, she is a full-on monster hunter. Number 8, Steve's upside-down car chase. One of the coolest shots in the Stranger Things 5 trailer shows Steve driving like a maniac through an area covered in red mist and twisting vines. That is not normal Hawkins. The lighting and tentacles tell us he is driving in the upside down itself. Earlier trailer footage has Nancy screaming at him to do it as he floors the car. Now we see the payoff. Steve literally drives his car through a gate and into the upside down. If that does not scream final season energy, I do not know what does. Number 9, the truth behind Dustin's bruises. People online had wild theories about why Dustin is so beaten up. Some thought he had turned into a bully. Others thought he fought the group. The simpler, sadder explanation is in his shirt. Dustin is still wearing his Hellfire Club top in honor of Eddie Munson. In a town that now links Hellfire with satanic panic and the destruction of Hawkins, that makes Dustin a target. Those bruises are not from monsters. They are from people who blame Eddie and take it out on the kid who refuses to let his friend be forgotten. And number 10, the line that changes everything. At the end of the Stranger Things Season 5 trailer, we hear Vecna say to Will, "You're going to help me one last time." On the surface, it sounds like a callback to Season 2, when the Mind Flayer used Will as the spy. But the phrase "one last time" suggests there were more moments of help than we saw on screen. When you combine that with the canon stage play, Stranger Things, the first shadow, which hints that the Mind Flayer is the true mastermind, you get a chilling idea it might not be Vecna speaking at all. It might be the Mind Flayer talking through him, promising that Will's final unwilling act of help is still to come in Stranger Things Season 5. So, how many of these 10 things you missed in the Stranger Things Season 5 trailer did you actually catch on your first watch? Be honest in the comments. If you nailed fewer than 8, you officially owe me a like because now you are ahead of 99% of Stranger Things fans. If you want YouTube to keep recommending you more Stranger Things 5 theories and Season 5 trailer breakdowns, watch another video right now. On screen is my big theory called I Solved Stranger Things 5 Before It Released, where I map out the entire Season 5 story using the trailer and the episode titles Click That Next. Keep your Stranger Things binge going and feed the YouTube algorithm all the right signals. Stranger Things Season 5 is not out yet, but here is the wild part. I truly believe I solved Stranger Things 5 before it released just by breaking down the Stranger Things 5 trailer frame by frame in this Stranger Things Season 5 Ending Explained video. I am going to show you how the Stranger Things 5 official trailer secretly walks through every episode, why Vecna needs Will Byers more than 11, and who I think really dies in the Stranger Things Season 5 finale. So if you love deep Stranger Things theories, Stranger Things 5 trailer breakdowns, and crazy Stranger Things Season 5 predictions, this video is for you. On this channel, I break down Stranger Things theories, Stranger Things Season 5 trailer analysis, and dark Netflix sci-fi in general. So if you are into Stranger Things Season 5 leaks, Vecna theories, and upside-down lore, you are in the right place. Most fans watch the Stranger Things Season 5 teaser trailer like a normal highlight reel. Cool shots, spooky vibes, move on. But the Duffer Brothers have said the Stranger Things 5 trailer uses footage from all 8 episodes of Season 5. That means the order of the scenes, the way shots are grouped, and even the transitions are not random at all. It is a Stranger Things 5 roadmap. When you line up the Stranger Things 5 trailer with the Stranger Things Season 5 episode titles, you get this crazy roadmap that basically turns into a full Stranger Things 5 story prediction. This completely changes how we look at the Stranger Things ending. The opening seconds are full of chaos and soldiers, daylight, gunfire, sirens, explosions. That screams Episode 1 of Stranger Things 5, titled The Crawl. The government hunt for 11 never stopped. They still see her as a walking nuclear bomb who might break the world again. So Stranger Things Season 5 does not ease us in. It starts with a Stranger Things military manhunt. Our favorite Netflix characters are already scattered and barely hanging on, which sets the tone for a dark, high-stakes final season. Then the trailer cuts to the Wheeler house. Holly on the floor, Karen screaming, Nancy frozen at the sink. When you line that up with the episode title The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler, it suddenly looks painfully literal. The Demogorgon has always gone after people it can use as bait, and Holly Wheeler is the perfect target. This is the attack that rips the last bit of normal out of Hawkins and gives Nancy Wheeler a personal vendetta in Stranger Things Season 5. This moment turns the Wheeler family into a core emotional engine for the Stranger Things 5 plot and for every Stranger Things Season 5 theory about who makes it out alive. Next, we see flashes of the party trying to respond, flashlights in tunnels, Demogorgons leaping over people we care about, quick cuts of Mike, Lucas, Dustin, Jonathan, and Joyce. This lines up with the episode title The Turnbow Trap. The kids think they are luring the monster into a safe kill zone, a classic Stranger Things monster trap. But really, they are stepping straight into Vecna's plan. Mike's emotional speech from the trailer, the one that sounds like a goodbye, likely belongs here. Their perfect plan is already falling apart, and the Stranger Things 5 stakes spike hard. Episode 4, The Sorcerer, is where the truth surfaces. The trailer gives us Vecna's chilling line, "You are going to help me one last time." Most people assume he is talking to 11. I do not. The entire series has been quietly building to one fact that powers this whole Stranger Things Will Byers theory. Will Byers is not just unlucky. He is connected to the Upside Down in a way no one else is. And Stranger Things Season 5 finally cashes that in. In Stranger Things Season 1, the Demogorgon stalks Will instead of killing him, while Barb dies in minutes. Will survives by slipping between worlds like a shadow. In Stranger Things Season 2, he can sense the tunnels like radar, track Hopper underground with his eyes closed, and act as a live camera for the Mind Flayer. When he is possessed, lights blow, phones glitch, and the air goes cold around him. 11 can spy on people in the void. Will can feel the actual landscape of the other world moving under his skin. This is not random horror. This is Will Byers' hidden power and the core of this Stranger Things. 5. Vecna Theory. The Upside Down does not just trap Will, it marks him. The slug he coughs up, the spider drawings, the constant feeling that something is still inside him. Vecna and the Mind Flayer do not want Will dead. They want him upgraded. If 11 is the lab's psychic weapon, Will Byers is the enemy's chosen weapon. This sets up one of the biggest Stranger Things. Season 5 theories online about Will becoming the living bridge. That leads into the Dimension X idea. The Upside Down might not be a full separate universe. It could be a bridge between our world and Dimension X. Something older and far more dangerous. Vecna is the first human to be twisted by that place. Will is the second. Both of them touched this power as kids. One embraced it. One ran from it. Now Vecna needs Will as a living doorway, a human bridge he can use to drag that other world fully into Hawkins and Stranger Things 5. This is where the Stranger Things Season 5 ending explained really turns cosmic horror. In the back half of the trailer, the tone shifts. We get shots that feel less like hunting monsters and more like waking up from a nightmare. That is why Episode 5, Shock Jock, is not just about electricity. It is about memory and identity. This is the episode where Will finally remembers what was done to him on the other side, flashes of his younger self, echoes of the shed, maybe even a conversation with a younger Henry Creel. The past that made him the perfect host comes crashing back. This is Will's awakening episode in Stranger Things, Season 5, and a huge piece of any Stranger Things 5, Will Byers theory. Escape from Camazotz, Episode 6, is the twin escape story. On one side, Lucas and Max fight to pull her out of Vecna's mental prison once and for all, paying off her storyline from Stranger Things Season 4. On the other, Will and the party try to escape the bigger prison wrapped around Hawkins itself. Every shot of the gang sprinting through ruined streets, carrying people and dodging creatures feels like it lives here. It is classic Stranger Things action, but now with final season energy and real Stranger Things, 5 death predictions hanging over every scene. By Episode 7, The Bridge, the secret is out. Our characters finally learn what Vecna has known from the start. The Upside Down froze on the day Will was taken because time is broken there. It is a snapshot of Hawkins held in place to preserve the conditions Vecna needs. Will is the missing piece that can unfreeze it. The bridge is not just a portal in the ground. The bridge is Will Byers. This is the big lore drop Stranger Things fans have been waiting for, and the heart of a lot of Stranger Things Season 5 ending theories. That sets up the finale, the right side up. For the first time since Season 1, the stakes are not about closing a gate. They are about closing a person without killing them. Vecna will try to pull both worlds into alignment, using Will turning Hawkins into a permanent overlap of real town and rotting mirror. 11's last stand will be choosing between saving her best friend and saving the world. It is the ultimate Stranger Things Season 5 ending choice. So who actually dies in Stranger Things 5? The obvious answer is 11, but I do not think that hits as hard as people expect. Hopper already lost one daughter and almost lost a second, repeating that feels cheap. The more brutal and more likely death is Mike Wheeler. He has always been the believer, the one who tells 11 who she is when she forgets. Taking him away is the only thing that truly breaks her and pushes her into that final showdown with Vecna. This is my bold Stranger Things 5 death prediction. If Mike dies buying them time, Will has to live with the fact that his own body was the reason it happened. That guilt is what finally pushes him to turn fully against Vecna and help 11 cut the connection. In the end, I think 11 survives, but her powers are gone for good, burned out as she severs the source that gave them to her. Will survives too, but the cost is that the Upside Down is erased from him completely. For the first time since that bike ride in Stranger Things Season 1, he is just a normal kid again. If you enjoy deep dive Stranger Things 5 theories and Stranger Things Season 5 breakdowns like this, tap like so YouTube knows to recommend more Stranger Things Season 5 content to you. So did Netflix accidentally show us the entire Stranger Things Season 5 ending months before release? Or are we all just reading way too much into every frame of the Stranger Things 5 trailer? Either way, the clues are there, and Will Byers has quietly been the key to Stranger Things from the very beginning. Comment your own Stranger Things 5 theories below. especially who you think survives the Stranger Things Season 5 finale and who delivers the last line of the whole show. And if you want to keep going down the rabbit hole, do not stop here. Next, watch my other Stranger Things Season 5 theory, where I break down the final shot I think we will see in the last episode. That video is on screen right now, so click it and keep your Stranger Things 5 binge going.